Now, quickly, we have other public interest issues we are pursuing. I've mentioned the issues related to county government, the issue related to national government. Now, other issues, Brian Odhiambo murder case. It is coming up for mention again on 16th of February at Nakuru High Court. You are aware, Brian Odhiambo disappeared at Lake Nakuru. He was allegedly picked literally by KWS people, and there is a case there. Richard Lemondo murder. He was murdered in January last year in Elbagon by people who have been in the dock for many months. The case is coming up again on 27th of January at Nakuru High Court. We have a commemoration of his first anniversary, 19th of this month in Moro at Elbagon. So that's something we are planning. Another case we are pursuing is Solai Dam composition case. 400 families went to court after the collapse. We had approached Patel to come out of court and agree, but he decided we go the whole hog. The last two witnesses will be heard on 11th of February at the Nakuru High Court. We hope that is the end. It has been 4 or 5 years, and we hope we are going to go well. Now, there are 163 families at Orongai Menengai, at the border of Longai and Sobukia, who are facing displacement. Because NEMA has given GDC license to explore geothermal in the lands of people without public participation. So we have had like 3 meetings with NEMA, with the NEMA review authority, and all those kind of people, so that we are telling them, please go elsewhere. Those people don't want to be displaced. They don't want to go. Go look for it elsewhere. So the way forward about that, our lawyers and Katiba Institute, they are working on a way of engaging government. And if it gets to a place where they want to evict the people by force, we'll go to court to get court orders to stop it. That's what we have agreed with them. There's an issue of Menengai Soaps Company at Devo here in Bahati. Now, thousands of people, over 10,000, since 2013, they filed a case because there's some dispute of land where there are people who they feel they took the land illegally, others they are claiming the land. Now, it has never been heard since 2011. So when they came to us, we said, what's happening? Our lawyers advised. Our lawyers allowed to CJ, saying, look here, how can we proceed like this? So we wrote a letter. Luckily, there's a lawyer who has come in. It has been given a date. We'll be back there on 30th of March, 31st of March, and 1st of April. We have secured those 3 dates where the case will be heard for the first time since 2011. Those are the kind of things we have been able to do. Now, we have cases for Naivasha. 200 young men were arrested in Maimahio, Naivasha, and Gilgil over Gen Z's 25th of June, the anniversary, and Sabasaba. They are in 14 cases. We worked with our lawyers in Naivasha, and I want to relate to the uncle lawyer called P.K. Nganga. Fought for the bailiffs to calm down. We went with him to prison in Naivasha. We were able to get like 70 of them who are there because of the reduced bail. We helped so many others, through friends to get them out, about 50 or 60. And right now, all of them are out on bail. The 200 cases are there, like 14 of them. Very tedious indeed, because these are criminal cases. They are going on in Naivasha. They started around October, November, December, all the way. They are hearing dates, and we hope that very soon all those cases are going to collapse. Those are the issues we are pursuing very vigorously, and of course there are some issues about Molo. Now in Molo, I've mentioned about the Richard murder case. The Richard murder case. There are 6 people who are arrested in Elbagon when they were doing maandamano after the murder of Raymond Richard. They were arrested that time. January last year, we did bail for them. They are now casing. They are now doing the case out of court. The case is going on at Molo Law Courts. 6 of them. There are other 17 who are arrested during 25th of June Maandamano protest and Sabasaba. They are the Gen Zs. The cases were given very high bails. The bails were reduced. Again, I want to really appreciate our lawyer there, Maida, who has been doing all this in conjunction with us and our lawyers from Nairobi. So and others, our lawyers also from Nakuru. So they were reduced. and they're out of they're out on bail. Their cases are going on again. Hopefully, one of the cases will be dealt with, I think, on Monday, Tuesday this week. So we hope they are going to come down again, because we are on top of that issue. Then there are some 26 young men who are arrested at Tayari in Molo over issues. They were doing some mandamano because one of them had been killed, a border rider and all that. So again, they stayed in remand for some time because their bills were about 300,000. Yeah, they were reduced to 10,000. They came out. They are now out of court, and the cases are going on. So that again, we want to move on. Now, I want to mention about Dennis, who was shot dead. A student in Moro, who was shot dead by police. He was walking home. We buried him at Turi. That young man called Dennis. Another one we buried at Mayera, who was killed in Naivasha by police. Another one we buried in Subukia, who was killed by police in Naivasha. Those are our young people who were killed in Nakuru County during the 25th and Sabasaba. We have waited enough, and what we have agreed with our lawyers, we'll go to court, sue government for compensation because of loss of life. That's all what we have agreed, because nobody deserves to die, either for what or whatever. Eric Koros is a young man who died in police cell in Solai. He was said by police to have hanged himself. We got all the documentation now, and we moved to court again seeking for compensation over his life, because he died in police cell. So we are going to convince the court that there's no way somebody would have hanged himself using some rope or something from some curtain. The same case, there's Anthony Jogo, the young man who was shot by Analo. People came, from some area. They literally got him inside his house, and he was attacked. When we were doing the post-mortem, the arrow was still lodged. The arrow was still lodged on his body. So again, we are going to court to look for compensation.